Testing? Okay.
How about me?
Here we go.
That's okay.
Testing?
So, this is Sami. So, Sami, why don't you tell us a little bit how long have you been playing the piano?
Well, when I was 3 years old, I started with a keyboard. When I played the keyboard, I discovered my talent, and I noticed all the sound my fingers could make to play, the sound my fingers could make just by playing a keyboard. It got me fascinated. And then later, it opened a new world for me. And now I play different pieces, I compose them, and now it's so fun to play. Notice the sounds I can make with just my fingers.
Awesome. And how many songs really are you playing right now? Like, how many songs can you play?
Well, what I'm working on now is to fluently read the music, and when I read the music, I can play any song I want. Basically, just like reading a book, I can read the music, and then the whole world opens up for me to play anything I want. For an exact answer, in my next recital I'm playing in February, I'm playing 13 pieces in total.
How long is that recital?
Over 1 hour and 10 minutes.
Before today, Sami's longest, how long was Spirit? How long was that piece? 6 minutes?
About 6 minutes and 25
So
seconds.
that was his longest piece on the stage by himself.
It is.
Today,
It's long.
we're getting up there today. It's been 20.
25 minutes?
Yeah. We'll do 25. So we're close to the 1 hour and 10 minutes.
Yes. Okay.
And what about, what are some of the things in life you've had to overcome on the piano and then also in life?
Well, in life, when I was little, I had multiple challenges, and I had fixations that I was hyper-focused on and very narrow-minded. For example, the first weird interest was street poles. I felt street poles were fascinating. Then, the worst one of all, the craziest one of all, garage doors. I used to love garage doors. Then, it was hand dryers. I would drive 40 miles just to get hand drying, just to see the hand drying. But I overcame those weird interests, and now I have different hobbies. I play Fortnite, I ride my bike, and do multiple other stuff.
Who do you like playing with?
I like playing with my sister Layla and my
Layla?
friends.
There's Layla over there.
Mhm.
She's a very good supporter, right?
Yes, she is. She's my biggest fan.
Yeah, she is. All right, so we're going to open it up a little bit. Does anyone want to ask Sami a question? Go ahead.
Sami, how do you memorize such long pieces?
Well, as an autistic kid, I've also been gifted with good memory. And when my teacher teaches me the piece, and then I try to memorize it, and I just keep practicing and practicing until I memorize it. Mm-hmm.
I think one of the things, Sami's ear is...
My ear is also, I think, is pretty good.
Yeah. Actually, our struggle is not the memory work. Our struggle is getting him to work on his reading. So
Yes,
memory
so-
work comes quite easy.
Mhm.
What was the hardest piece of music you had to play?
It's called List to Spiro. It's the one I told you was about 6 minutes, 25 seconds, and it's super hard. It's got all these crazy dramatic moments in it, and it's just crazy. It tires my hands like crazy.
Go ahead.
Yeah. First, thank you for this wonderful concert.
You're welcome.
You're here among many friends. So.
You're welcome. I've been practicing for 3 hours a day just to come here from Chicago.
Yes. So my question is, someone who is playing menacing impromptu, someone who's playing Chopin, normally the people would need long fingers to play something like that.
Well, my fingers are not long, but they're stretchy. They're very stretchy. I've been gifted with stretchy hands, so I can play it well. Un Suspiro is even harder than Fantasy Impromptu.
It's interesting that you mentioned the fantasy. So the fantasy has only been recorded a few times by really renowned pianists. Most pianists won't touch it. They stay away from it because the whole time in his right hand he's doing one rhythm, which is 4 notes at a time, while his left hand is doing 3. So most pianists will just stay as far away from that piece as
Well,
possible.
to me, I don't think it's that hard. I think Un Suspiro is much harder.
Well, when he said he wanted to learn it, I was a little nervous because it's like, now I've got to learn it again. You know, and I remember we would sit at his house and we would send videos to the other teacher that works with him, who's the perfectionist, like looks at every detail, and I would be like, is he getting it right? And we'd be like, is he doing it right? Is he not doing it right? Because after a while, I just like in your head, you start hearing all random things, right? You don't know if it's actually right. So, but he's pulling it off quite nicely.
Sammy, what's your favorite piece and why?
Well, I think the first piece I played is fun to play. But if I really want to play a piece that would impress you, I would play Liszt Un Suspiro.
So why do you like that?
Well, Fantasy Impromptu is fun to play. And it's super fun to play. And I think it just fits well in my fingers.
We got a question over here.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Sammy, this is, as a fellow autistic person, I just want to say that your music is amazing. I love piano compositions. I tried to play piano when I was young, but I wasn't
Thank
that
you.
good. I just had a quick question. Do you enjoy piano, like famous classic pianists? Like, who are your own inspirations and favorite, pianists to listen to, from America?
Well, I like this guy named Evgeny Kissin. I don't know if you know who he is. I like this guy named Trifonov. And my daddy loves this artist called Josefina Rigolvas that plays Un Suspiro very nicely.
Sammy, a gentleman behind me kind of asked a question. One of the questions I wanted to ask, a good friend of ours plays piano for Leonard Skinner. You might have heard of them.
What do you say?
A band named Leonard Skinner, our friend's a pianist, and he has amazing long fingers.
Well, I don't know that band. What do you think you want me to play for them?
And I wanted to ask you, do you listen to any rock and roll? Do you enjoy rock and roll or playing rock and roll?
I like pop songs. I actually, when I was little, I used to not like them, but I overcame it.
About our rights, or should I keep that private?
Yes. And in fact, there's a song called Uptown Funk that I like. And like me and my teacher are driving a Porsche and we listen to it.
One of Sammy's treats is that he gets to go driving around in my car, and
It's only if I have a good lesson.
and the thing is, he wants to roll all the windows down, and he wants to play it as loud as possible.
And we cruise at 75 miles an hour.
The neighborhood streets, and he always likes to do a loop around his school. You know,
and show off to all the kids.
How do you see your future?
Well, I'm only 10 years old, so I don't know what I'm going to have for my future, but right now, what I think I'm capable of is being an ambassador for the autism spectrum and speak for all the autistic kids on the spectrum. Use my music to prove it.
Well, that's a great way to. Do you want to play again?
Oh, I was itching to play another piece. and as I told you, Un Suspiro is a very hard piece, and I know you guys are going to love it, so I'm going to play it for you guys. Raise your hand if you want to hear another piece.
Sure.
Okay, I'm playing it.
these things up.
I want to devote myself by speaking for every single individual on the autism spectrum. Using my music, I want to prove to the world that autistic individuals can overcome all their challenges and do great things. The only way to do this is to meet us halfway. Thank you very much.
All right, great job, Sammy. Thank you so much. Again, I really appreciate it. Sammy likes to get social, so if you light up his Instagram tonight, he'll be so happy. So if you have Instagram, that's that. And I think afterwards, I think he's gonna have a few minutes to kind of relax, but afterwards, hopefully we'll be able to sit at a table if you wanna come and talk to him individually or and come and see him.